My next tip is something that I learned ever since I was a child. You really don't want to set yourself up for any surprises. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and I'm a dancer and choreographer with over 30 years of dance and performance experience. I spent the last decade focused on partner dance and wedding first dances. So today I'm going to be giving you my top tips for wedding first dances. But before we get into those tips, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video. I post helpful, inspiring, or entertaining videos at least once a week, sometimes more, and I would love to have you here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the tips. So tip number one, you want your first dance to be short and sweet. I recommend editing your music down to about 2 or 2.5 minutes if it isn't already that short, just to keep it short and sweet, to keep the audience retention, and to make sure that you don't have too much choreography that you have to think about and memorize. Now, if you do want to do a longer piece and do a big, spectacular, long first dance, I would recommend getting together with your teacher or choreographer and practicing months and months and months in advance. Even if you're doing a routine that's only about 2 to 2.5 minutes, I would still recommend practicing a few months in advance at least. But like I said before, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with all of this extra stuff to remember, especially on your wedding day when there's just so much stimulation and so much going on. You really want to make sure that this piece is just the right size. So for my next tip, you want to consider your wardrobe. Now, if you're doing just a standard first dance where maybe you're just swaying back and forth, maybe you can get away with wearing the same dress that you wore in the ceremony. And even if you're doing a choreographed routine, you can probably get away with wearing the same dress. But there are some tips that I have. For example, if you're wearing a dress that has a really long train, you might want to consider getting it bustled so that the back isn't so long. Or you might want to consider changing into a different outfit for your reception so that you feel more comfortable during your first dance and for the entire night of dancing. You want to consider things like, is your dress too long? Are you going to step on it? Are your pants too tight? Are they going to split if you crouch down? You want to think about these things, think about the movements that you're doing, and if you can, practice in something similar beforehand so that you're not super surprised on the day of your wedding. My next tip goes along with the previous one, and that is think about your shoes. And if you can practice in the exact shoes that you're going to be wearing, that will be extremely helpful. But if not, just a similar pair of shoes will also help you out. Like I said before, there's going to be a lot going on and you don't want extra stimulation the day of. You want to be as comfortable as you can with as many elements as you can. So wardrobe is one of those things. So anything you can do ahead of time to kind of scratch that off of your list of things to worry about, the easier it's going to be for you to transition from practice to performance. For my next tip, this is definitely more for choreographed routines, but you are going to want to film your practices. If you can have a friend or your teacher or choreographer film you, then you can go home, you can watch it, you can self-correct, or you can check out what you look like and make sure that you like everything that you're seeing and make your own adjustments accordingly before the day of. This next tip is also more for choreographed routines. If you can practice in between your sessions with your teacher or choreographer, this will help you out. You're not going to be wasting the time worrying about what you did the week before. So you want to go ahead and practice in between so that when you come into your session, you are rehearsed, you're ready to go, and you're ready to move on to the next thing. That is going to maximize your time with your teacher or choreographer, and you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Moving on to my next tip, you want to practice without mirrors. Now, mirrors can be a great tool. You can see yourself while you're learning the choreography. You can make adjustments accordingly, but a mirror can also be a crutch. So make sure that you have plenty of practice without a mirror so that your body knows what you're doing without you visually seeing yourself in the mirror while you're doing it. So go ahead and take the time to practice away from a mirror if you can. Now, for my next tip, this may not be possible for everyone, but if you can, practice in your actual venue. This will help you out so much. As I've been saying, there's a lot of stimulation on the day of your wedding. So if you can practice in the venue, that would be ideal. Even if you can't practice in the venue, I would suggest at least visualizing the venue ahead of time, visualizing the people being there, visualize where the DJ is going to be, where your sweetheart table is going to be. All of those things do make a difference. If you can visualize yourself doing the dance in your head ahead of time, this will take off some of that stress beforehand. Now, my next tip is something that I learned ever since I was a child. I was taught to do the dance and practice exactly as I'm going to be performing it. So this means you don't want to think, oh, on the day of is when I'll, put in extra energy, or on the day of, I'll smile and I'll do this and that. You really don't want to set yourself up for any surprises. So a better way to go about it is to practice as if the audience is already there, and practice as much as you can this way, full out, as if the audience is right in front of you, because your body remembers. Your body will get attuned and remember the movements. And because there's so much extra stimulation on the day of, you don't want to leave remembering your dance or performing it the way that you want to until the day of. You want to perform it the way that you're going to many times before that day comes. And that way, when it does come to the day and you do have all this extra stimulation going on, your body will automatically remember what to do, and that will be one less thing to worry about. And we've made it to my final tip, and that is to breathe, relax, and don't speed up. So, like I've been saying, there's a lot of stimulation on your wedding day, so that adrenaline is going to kick in. And what tends to happen when you have extra adrenaline pumping through your body is you tend to speed up the movements. So what you want to do instead is take extra long, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Try and calm your body down before you begin. That will help kind of calm that nervous energy, and then consciously tell yourself not to speed up. Consciously tell yourself to relax and relax into the music and to do the dance exactly as you have practiced. You don't need to do anything extra. You don't need to add anything on. If you've practiced exactly how you want to, then you can just breathe, relax, and really enjoy that moment, because that is that one special moment between you and your partner on your wedding day in front of all of your guests. And that is something that you can enjoy not only in that moment, but a memory that will last forever. All right, that's all I've got for you for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video. I post helpful, inspiring, or entertaining videos at least once a week, sometimes more, and I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.